Hello, I am Allie Perkins, and this presentation is brought to you by the University of Central Arkansas Classroom Management Course, MSIT 4305. This project is part 4 of A Student Might, a Teacher Should. This 4-step project was designed to have students analyze a behavior management situation both before and after completing the course. The first step was to choose a behavior dilemma and write a plausible classroom scenario involving the behavior. We then described what we thought would be an ineffective response and an effective response to the situation as a future educator. The next step was to send the scenarios out to practicing teachers with experience and have them describe both an ineffective and effective response as well. This presentation, part 4 of the project, brings all of the responses together. The situation is then further analyzed using information learned from MSIT 4305. My dilemma is, while you're answering questions from a small group at the back right of the classroom during group work, a student hollers from the opposite side of the room, "Katie's throwing up and it's bad." Students begin to get nauseous from Katie's vomiting. The mess is beginning to get bigger and students are starting to get rowdy in efforts to vacate the area. Meanwhile, Katie is embarrassed and crying while vomiting. I thought the most ineffective response would be to panic and yell. Panicking and yelling only brings tension and stress on the students and adds to the commotion. Another ineffective response would be to leave the students alone to go get the school nurse. Leaving students alone would leave students unattended and someone could get hurt and other issues could arise. I thought the most effective response would be to page the office, notify them of the sick student, and ask for the school nurse to come down to assist the sick student. I would also ask for a member of the janitorial staff to come to my classroom to help clean up the mess once the school nurse arrived at the room. I would relocate my class to another area away from the smell. Removing the class from the classroom with the mess allows for the nurse to tend to the sick student in private, along while ensuring that no other students get sick from the smell or sight of vomit. Now, let's look at the responses I received from the professionals. They thought that yelling and leaving the sick student unattended would be an ineffective response. Yelling can scare the sick student and the other students and confuse them about how they should behave in such a situation. Leaving the sick student unattended makes the student feel like they have done something wrong when really they cannot help that they have made a mess and caused a disruption to the class. Another ineffective response would be to keep the sick student in the class with others. Other students could get sick from the sight and smell of vomit, which can add to the disruption. Keeping the sick student in class can also create rowdiness among the other students and embarrass the sick student. The professionals gave me 4 steps to an effective response for this situation. First and foremost, the teacher should remain calm. Remaining calm trickles down to helping the students be calm by setting an example of ideal behavior in this situation. Next, the teacher should contain the mess by giving the sick student a trash can to continue to vomit in. Containing the mess is more sanitary for all people involved and helps the janitor to have less mess to clean up after all is said and done. Next, the teacher should relocate the class, including the sick student. Relocating the class keeps other students from getting sick from the vomit smell and mess. The teacher should have a student leader from the class escort the sick student to the closest restroom with a small trash can so that they are secluded from the class and embarrassment is not escalated. Last, the teacher should notify the office that they have relocated the class and let them know where the sick student is located so that a school nurse can meet them at their current location and take over from there. Now that I have completed MSIT 4305, I am able to recognize several management strategies in our plausible responses to the situation. First is the ripple effect. This can apply to both the effective and ineffective responses. The ripple effect is when your interaction with one student affects the entire class. For example, by panicking and yelling in the ineffective response, the students will also panic and become rowdy. Also, in the effective response, if the teacher remains calm, the students will remain calm throughout the situation. Second is safety of the students and yourself. It is important to keep all students safe by not leaving anyone unattended and containing hazardous waste so that everyone is kept as sanitary as possible. Also, notifying the office in the event of an emergency so that all students and the teacher's location is accounted for and no one can get lost. The third management strategy used in this situation is sympathy for students. Having sympathy for students in this situation shows that as the teacher, you care about your students and are willing to help in any situation. Showing sympathy for students also sets an example for the students in the class for how they should behave towards their peers in such a situation as a sick student. The effective responses for this scenario fit in with Forrest Gather-Cole's judicious discipline model. He believes that educators are responsible for providing behavior guidelines for health and safety situations and educational disruptions. He also believes that the teacher is responsible for demonstrating professional ethics to the class, such as privacy of students, supervising students at all times, and student-centeredness at all times, like doing things for the student's benefit. Teachers should also protect the students' citizenship rights such as freedom, justice, and equality. Health and safety falls under these citizenship rights which apply to this dilemma of the sick student. In this situation, the students would have received behavior expectations at the beginning of the school year when rules and expectations are covered. In these behavior expectations, what to do in emergency situations and educational disruptions would have been covered, so the students would know exactly how they should behave when one of their peers gets sick accidentally in class. Thank you for taking the time to watch and learn about the classroom management strategy that I took away from completing this project and how I can apply it to my future career in education. This presentation is the final project of the classroom management course, and thank you for watching.